Look, relying solely on Apple Password Manager data protection is a controversial topic. Flaws and privacy issues affecting its ecosystem have been found repeatedly. But it's not all doom and gloom, so let's discuss the pros and the cons of Apple Password Manager and whether it's enough for your password security in 2026. Okay, to start things off on a more positive note, what is Apple Password Manager doing right? Well, everything is end-to-end encrypted. It also uses iCloud keychain synchronization. When you save or change logins on one device, it automatically syncs to others using encryption. On top of that, it supports passkeys and verification codes. The first replaces traditional passwords, making common password attack vectors less likely to occur because no passwords are involved. The second allows you to authenticate your account with codes, further enhancing your account security. Plus, there is stolen device protection, which relies on biometric authentication to access your passwords. This removes a big security risk of password theft, but it just needs to be set up. Of course, there are general things too, like password autofill, generation, and integration into Apple's ecosystem, but those are universal to most password managers. Arguably, Apple just makes it more seamless because your Apple device becomes the foundation of your password security, whereas other dedicated password managers take a different approach, which I'll talk about in just a minute. For now, we have a more important question. Is Apple Password Manager safe enough? A single point of failure is one downside to using Apple for all your logins. However, there have been other risks that have left users especially vulnerable to data theft. Like how back in 2025, security researchers discovered a flaw in Apple's password app that could allow malicious actors on the same public Wi-Fi network. This meant certain network requests weren't fully protected, and users were left exposed to phishing attacks for months. Now, it was patched by Apple, and there's no indication that this vulnerability is still around, but the 2025 Passwords app flaw wasn't an isolated example. Apple has also had other security and privacy issues affecting its ecosystem, from phishing campaigns targeting iCloud users to vulnerabilities in features like Hide My Email. Together, these serve as a stark reminder that no platform is immune to security flaws, and because of Apple's popularity, users are much more likely to be targeted. So if strong encryption isn't enough, what is when it comes to keeping your passwords safe? Well, a big difference is how other dedicated tools function. Take NordPass as an example. It separates your encrypted vault from your device. The account is protected by its own master password and dedicated vault architecture. Together, this creates a separate security layer. Say your device is stolen and they know your device passcode. Well, it ensures that your data is much safer because they need your master password or biometric data to get inside your vault. On top of that, to date, NordPass has never been breached or reported incidents affecting NordPass servers, source code, or users' vault data. Overall, I'm not saying Apple Password Manager is terrible. My issue is more about the whole architecture, flexibility, and security philosophy of Apple. So if you want reliability, enhanced account safety, and more cross-platform versatility, all at one of the most affordable prices on the market, yeah, NordPass is one of the best password manager alternatives. I've left an exclusive NordPass deal for you below, or just scan this QR code to get robust protection and save some money. All right, getting back to Apple. In recent years, it's made some big changes. So it integrated its own personal AI system directly into your device. In terms of password security, this means that instead of warning you about a weak or compromised password, it uses agentic AI to change passwords on your behalf at your request. Convenient or lazy? For me, this opens a whole other can of worms, like, are you happy handing over your responsibility of your passwords to AI? I know how I feel about that. All right, the biggest point that I want to stress here is that Apple's Password Manager is an operating system feature, whereas NordPass is a dedicated identity security platform. So when you look deeper, the difference between the two becomes more apparent, and so does the functionality and added security that you get. So NordPass not only stores your passwords in an encrypted vault, but it also strongly focuses on password security and managing passwords. It uses a zero-knowledge architecture, so nobody at the company can even view your password passwords, you have your own independent master password, which is used to gain access to the account, and then you can further reinforce your account's security through passkeys and multi-factor authentication. On top of that, NordPass's password-specific architecture has gone through rigorous independent audit, so you know everything is running as it should. In terms of functionality, there's a lot more to offer. The data breach scanner offers a more detailed view if your information is leaked on dark web databases. The password health tool pulls any weak, outdated, or duplicated passwords onto an easy-to-read dashboard, and then that way you can quickly update it. You can even create a folder, name it whatever you like, and then add secure notes here, like Wi-Fi passwords or banking details. This can then be securely shared with others on your terms, customizing how much access that they get in just a few clicks. So in comparison, Apple offers more basic functionality in this area. Although you can add notes to passwords, it isn't possible to create secure note folders and then categorize them. Now, when it comes to sharing passwords here, you can create a secure shareable link or safely share an entire folder with another NordPass user. Unlike Apple's sharing, the recipient doesn't need an Apple ID, Apple's AirDrop feature, or a specific device-related app. Plus, here, there is robust emergency access to your vault if you're incapacitated or locked out. This lets you grant a trusted user access in worst-case scenarios. And although Apple's password manager has digital legacy contact, this excludes password recovery and only focuses on photos and other account data, which means if you lose access, you're going to have to start from scratch with your accounts. And I don't know about you, but for me, painfully re-registering for 50 plus services, that's not an option. So if that wasn't already a really useful set of features with NordPass, depending on your subscription, you can save PDFs, Word documents, and photos in encrypted file storage. Sure, with Apple, there are other apps to securely store your data, but it can't all be saved directly in one place. Not to mention, NordPass works with literally every major browser and operating system with native apps that have been carefully crafted for each particular user. So clearly, NordPass is designed to protect your identity, not just integrate with your system. So it's a trade-off between a dedicated app and an operating system feature, and a worthwhile one, in my opinion. Apple focuses on features overall and its operating system. Meanwhile, NordPass focuses on dedicated use cases and automatically concentrates on offering the best solution without having to carry an entire ecosystem. So we've established that Apple isn't the worst password manager that you can find. For invested Apple users who value simplicity and don't need advanced sharing or administrative features, Apple may be okay. But for people who use multiple platforms, want a separate security layer, or need features like emergency access, encrypted file storage, and advanced sharing, a dedicated password manager such as NordPass is just better, especially because there's options for business or family users as well. Its trustworthiness speaks for itself. Although to get the best experience, you do need a subscription, so slash the price by using my exclusive NordPass discount link. And whatever you decide, stay safe out there, and thanks for watching. Bye.